those of us who are old enough in Ghana, he was introduced. But it was the first concrete idea that was Ghanaians had of a software development. When he came to the country in the 1990s, he was introduced as somebody who had written software for doctors as a young boy for doctors in the United Kingdom. Of course, I'm sure they will still the software. Okay? As the chief software coder for the software, I've had several interactions with David. I must also pay homage to a very special gentleman, Mr. Thomas Finn, who is working out there. Mr. Finn came all the way from Maureen. I called him about around 10 p.m. yesterday, and I got him to come here. Actually, Finn is the sort of person who should be talking to you, not me. Mr. Finn is a self-trained photographer. I called him a one-man mobilizer. I'm sure he has what we used to call him the middle school certificate. But he learned art of photography from his father. I've known him for about the past 10 years. And I always say that he's my favorite art photographer in this country. In point of fact, Finn has just come from covering the president's tour of the Western region and 1.5 region. And he, although he's very modest, he's been the primary African photographer at the last 3 World Expos. And I'm very sure he's going to be at the World Expo in China. So I respect him a lot. I've seen him moving from an analog technology in photography to a fully digital technology. And of course, I'm going to talk about Maureen. Trend comes from Maureen. I must confess to you, I'm getting very, very reluctant talking about the mobile telephony of fishermen in Maureen. So when Bright came to me with this idea, I said, well, I will not talk about Maureen alone. Actually, the second part of the topic should read, that's what I sent him. I guess the Mali, they have very strong GI, they have their own ideas. What I would want to talk about is the citizenship of Ghana's digital natives. If you want, the ringtones of Maureen fishes and the citizenship of Ghana's digital natives. Let me start with the idea of digital natives. I'm sure that's an idea that some of you already know about. It's been in academic parlance for quite some time now, but I think it was made very popular by the newspaper baron, media baron, Richard Miller. About 3 or 4 years ago, Miller gave a very important address to the American Society of Newspaper Owners or Newspaper Editors. And he made a distinction between what we call digital natives and digital immigrants. And what Miller was saying is that he is a digital immigrant because he uses these digital technologies like computers, iPods, or whatever. From time to time, he's trying to school himself into it, but it's not natural with him. On the other hand, I think that he said that it's true, but if you go to Wikipedia, for instance, I'm sure they'll tell you digital natives now be born after 1980 or something like that. But essentially, the idea of digital natives are people to whom these digital means come naturally. Not people like me and I'm with my age who have struggled. But for instance, well, I guess another reason why we cannot be like the TEDx, we have immense IT challenges here, don't we? If we had the internet, I was going to show you. Essentially, my resources are primarily online. If you go to YouTube, I have a YouTube channel there called Africa Talks on YouTube. If you go on Vox.com, look for Africa Nest on Vox.com, Africa Talks on YouTube. But all the digital resources that I'm going to use are online. But I have a video, for instance, of, well, actually my favorite video. I've uploaded over 300 videos to YouTube. But one of my favorites was actually shot on the day of the inauguration, on the day of President Nelson's inauguration. I think that was January 20th. Now, just after the inauguration, when I was walking out, one love, the Kubala, was accosted by what I'm sure they don't mind me saying, true and proper Kubalas. I mean, one love was accosted by people who excuse my stereotyping, but looked like people from Nima, and really raised one love up. But while they were, as we used to say in Lebanon, giving fans What these ordinary guys were saying was that $1, put it on MySpace. $1, put it on MySpace. Now that was what I call that the internet revolution in Ghana. For me, again, I might be just old, retired academic stereotyping, but it appeared to me like very ordinary people who know MySpace. I mean, the whole Sakawa phenomenon, and I did a paper to the representative African Security Dialogue about 4 or 5 years ago on 419. I've not uploaded it yet, but I'm going to upload it very soon. I think that, of course, with all these things about juju and snakes and so on and so forth, the Sakawa story has become very different. But another one, I mean, crime is crime, and we should not glorify it in any way. But one way in which this whole 419 computer for Sakawa, one positive thing, if I might put it that way, that it points out is the appropriation of digital technology by ordinary Ghanaian people. I didn't know about Craigslist. The first time I heard about Craigslist, very ordinary Sakawa guys were on Craigslist doing us I think about 3 or 4 years ago. And I mean, if you look at what, I mean, our women, I keep telling people that I think one of the most important non-traditional exports from Ghana now is the export of nude bodies. So if you go to any cyber cafe, it is very, very obvious that young Ghanaian women are going on webcams and undressing themselves for attention and I hope payment or whistles. Now this is very complicated as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I don't know how they organize their payments, but being able to master webcam technology and so on and so forth. I'm saying crime is crime. Well, I don't even know whether that's why as crime. I guess if they are adults and they are consenting, that should be okay. But whatever it is, one point that points up is the appropriation of digital technologies by young men. I hope, I suspect most of you here are coming from the Sitala process. I understand from Bryce that there are a few Nigerians. By looking at your faces, I would suppose that most of you would qualify as digital natives. Now, what I really wanted to talk about is how can we connect people like you to the fishermen in Lorraine? Now, the first point that I want to make is that from today's perspective, it's really not surprising that fishermen are using mobile phones. I am deeply suspicious, and increasingly dismissive of few surveys that are continually done, trying to assess intelligence and so on and so forth. But it's very clear that more than half of Ghanaians have mobile phones. And many Ghanaians are quite old. So if fishermen are using mobile phones, it is no big deal today. I myself, I was initially surprised by this phenomenon.